Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to True Sim Productions. I am your host here from the WD Broadcasting Network, Winston Deal. We are here tonight for race number 2 for the Barry Elvis Performance and Fabrication Super Series. Right now we have qualifying underway. Get the times up. These guys have one lap here this evening. Their one lap time is going to be what counts. We'll see what Dalton Creech can do in the 36. Awesome. The stripe. Creech goes to the 3rd spot. Brandon Elvis going to the top spot. So we've got 6 cars that have taken a time. Zach Murphy, the next car on track. See what he does across the stripe. Murphy 6th quick. Brandon Mettler, the next car. Sideways on it too. He keeps it off the wall though. Right now, Brandon Mettler coming into this race. Winner of race number 1 at Rockingham. Mettler going to be scored in the 6th spot here in qualifying. Elvis in the 44. His qualifying run, 8th quick. The 17-18. Looks like Chris Smith in the Graffiti Machine deciding it is time to go out and see what he can do. 2 minutes left here in qualifying. A couple cars still not laying down a lap. What can Chris Smith do? Flag right there. Try and diamond it off the corner. Across the stripe. Top of the board for Chris Smith with a 16.71. It was close right there between him and Elvis, but he goes to the top spot. A couple more competitors taking time. Scotty Stevens in the number 2. Getting the green flag right there. Let's see where he stacks up. He's just going into the corner. He's going to slide up a little bit. Drives through it. Pretty good though. So he stacks up. Crossing the stripe. 8th quick for number 2, Scotty Stevens. Next competitor to make his way out onto the racetrack. Griffith in the 12. Griffith might have had trouble on his qualifying run. Not going to get a lap in right there, but he already completed his 1 allowed qualifying lap. So now it is time to send him away for 100 laps of racing. Try and get the grid up for you guys here. Starting lineup for tonight's race. Chris Smith going to be rolling off on the pole in the 80 machine. Brandon Elvis second in the 54. Behind them, it's going to be Justin Coleman in the third spot with Dalton Creech to his outside in the 36. Fifth spot going to be Brad Carpenter in the 31 with Adam Fulford next to him in the 71. Seventh spot, race 1 winner, Brandon Mettler going to be rolling off next to Scotty Stevens in the number 2. Zach Murphy and Justin Elvis going to round out our top 10. Behind them in the 11th spot, it's Caleb Thompson and Thomas Grau. And then behind them, rounding out our field, Alex Hicks, who was pretty quick in qualifying, in practice, might have had some trouble on that qualifying run. But to his outside, it'll be the number 12 of Philip Griffith. Jeffrey Miller going to be rolling off from the 15th spot. And rounding out our starting lineup is going to be the 05 of Brian Gravel. So starting on the pole is that guy right there, Chris Smith, in the 80. Right now, Smith coming into this race, sitting in the second spot in points. Just 8 points back from Brandon Mettler. Elvis, after his win last week, just 9 points back from the 15 of Mettler. So a close battle up front after these first couple races of the season. Even back to the top 5, just 16 points back to Justin Coleman. So it's really anyone's race or anyone's title at this point. We'll keep track of it as we progress further through the season. Speaking of going further through this season, look at the schedule right here. 2 weeks in, Rockingham and New Smyrna, those videos are up on True Sim Productions. Go back and watch the replays if you missed them. An exciting footage at Rockingham in week 1, definitely one to check out. But this week we are at the Five Flags Speedway for 100 laps, and next week we'll be going to South Boston. That's going to be a fun tight intensive mile. And then likely right after that, so a couple short tracks in the next couple weeks. Then Myrtle Beach before the All-Star break. But a fun little schedule here for the All-Star Racing League this season. We're getting ready to send the field green. The lights are off in the iRacing.com pace car. Chris Smith, Brandon Elvis will bring the field green 3 and 4. We're going to bring up all the designs. Restart zone and we are off and away. Brandon Elvis got a big jump there in the 54. Let's see what race control has to say about it. But a huge jump right there by Brandon Elvis. He's going to lead lap number 1. Your pole sitter, Chris Smith, in the 80, back to the 3rd spot right now. Justin Coleman moving up in the 14. Back behind him, Adam Fulford up the racetrack in the 71. Make their way into turns 3 and 4. Field doing a good job right now. Everybody's settling in. 100 laps here at Five Flags. Going to go by pretty quick. But we will see who comes out on top in this one. Coleman inching a little bit closer to Brandon Elvis in the 54. He's making his run down the back straightaway here. As they pass over our camera down in the concrete. Ooh, somebody went right over it there. Hopefully didn't scrape the bottom of their car. But Brandon Elvis out front right now. He's got pressure from his teammate Justin Coleman. Right there on the back bumper. I doubt Coleman pushes this very early, but definitely want to fight for track position. It's back behind Alex Hicks, moving up into the top 10. Getting around Justin Elvis right there. You see the 93 As, oh, Jeffrey Miller has trouble in turns 1 and 2. He's got damage on the left front of that race car. He keeps it going. He's going to be down on the apron as these guys work their way into turns 3 and 4. Miller down pit road. We're going to stay green here at 5 flags. Down the back straightaway they go. Single file throughout the field. We're 10 laps in. About 4-car breakaway. Smith, Coleman, Creech, and Elvis. Your front 4 right there. Oh, Coleman got up into the wall. Going to lose a little bit of time to Brandon Elvis in the 54 machine. He's able to recover. But he's sitting in the 2nd spot right now. Pole sitter Chris Smith definitely trying to get back up there. He had a lot of speed in practice and obviously in qualifying getting the pole. We'll see what he can do here. He's got 97 laps to go. Sorry, 87 laps to go. As they come across the stripe, we'll take a look at the times this last time around. As they update, we'll see who the fastest car on the racetrack is. It looks like it's the 14 of Justin Coleman. Chris Smith isn't far behind, though. But Coleman definitely a little bit quicker than your race leader, Brandon Elvis, that last time around. Right there again. 14 able to keep that car right down on that white line in turns 1 and 2. He's able to reel in the 54 ever so slightly. But he's up in the wall again. He's got to try and keep that race car away from the outside wall. He made up quite a bit of ground on that initial start, but he's lost some right there, as you can see. Elvis just doing a good job, hitting his marks, doing the same thing every lap. It's really making these guys work hard to try and build up a run and get around him. As here comes Smith to the inside. It looked like Coleman might have pulled up out of the way right there and said, you go try and track down Elvis in the 54. And Smith was fast behind the 14 of Justin Coleman. We'll see if he's got anything for your race leader here. But definitely some speed from your pole sitter here early on. Still clean and green here, 20 laps in. Brandon Elvis took the lead on lap number 1 from his 2nd place starting spot. And he hasn't really had too much pressure, a little from his teammate Justin Coleman, but nothing since then. He's really able to sit out front and save these tires the best that he can. Look back behind. Brandon Mettler in the 15 car has kind of worked his way up towards these race leaders. Remember I said there was a 4-car breakaway. Mettler trying to make it a 5-car breakaway. Slowly moving towards the back bumper of Dalton Creech. These cars are definitely looking a little bit sideways. It's a hot day here at the 5 Flag Speedway. 117 degrees on the track. Does a lot to the tires and does it pretty quickly. Up front, Smith still trying to track down your race leader. The time's a little bit quicker was Brandon Elvis that last time, but they go back and forth. Only slight differences, but one time it's Brandon Elvis, the next lap it's Chris Smith. Just really even on pace right now, these two are. Brandon Mettler right here on the back bumper of Dalton Creech for the 4th spot. He's been reeling in this lead pack. We'll see if he can continue to do that throughout this race. Peeks to the inside right there. Creech gonna move up the racetrack in the 36. Comes Brandon Mettler trying to make the pass. Gets underneath to the door, plenty of room from the 36 of Dalton Creech. Mettler keeping the 15 down there. Advantage right there was Dalton Creech. Can he roll the top side? Looks like a little bit of a struggle from Mettler down on the bottom, trying to get that thing rotated up off the corner. He'll peek ahead right there, but I think it was Creech at the line. These guys are battling really good right here for the 4th spot. Creech up onto the outside wall right there, and that's going to seal the deal. So officially give the 4th spot over to Brandon Mettler in the 15. It's the field making their way. Returns 3 and 4. Starting to battle out back behind him. This is for the 6th spot. Brad Carpenter trying to take a peek. Zach Murphy underneath Caleb Thompson as well. Little group of cars battling these last couple spots in the top 10. So here comes Carpenter to the inside. Makes a power move underneath Adam Fulford. Four cars side by side. Watch them right there come by. As it looks like the top side able to really carry that momentum. Fulford in the 71 gets the run and he's clear once again. Murphy's right there trying to find somewhere to go. Here comes Caleb Thompson up on the outside of Brad Carpenter. Looks like Carpenter going to slip up on the bottom right there. Murphy's going to try and go around the top in the 29. He'll get the job done. So here comes Caleb Thompson underneath Adam Fulford. So move Caleb Thompson into the 6th spot. He's going to try and bring Zach Murphy with him. It's crazy to me how when one of these cars steps out of line, they all bunch up in a group. Just all of a sudden, you got 6 cars right there for the 6th spot on back. They're all in a line right here, trying not to run over each other into the corner. Definitely a long green flag run to open this one off. We're 40 laps in at the line. Brandon Elvis still your race leader. Fastest car on the racetrack still looks to be that 15 machine of Brandon Mettler. He's clicking off some pretty consistent laps. He's starting to track down these leaders. About 0.6 of a second back from Justin Coleman right now. It's Chris Smith starting to close in on your race leader a little bit. half second the difference between them. Carpenter gets around Fulford in the 71. So does Alex Hicks in the 88. The pole sitter Chris Smith is trying to slowly reel in Brandon Elvis. Still quicker that last lap. Just gotta try and build runs to the back bumper of the 54. You look back behind him, Brandon Mettler really starting to catch that 14 machine right here. Last time around, Coleman might have had trouble, but the gap really shrunk up. He lost about 0.3 of a second that last lap. Mettler just trying to move his way up through the top 3. There's the field going into turns 1 and 2. Dalton Creech Hall by himself there in the 5th spot. Just basically running some practice laps here at the Five Flags Speedway. It's Mettler moving closer to the back bumper of the 14. He's consistently about half a tenth quicker, but it doesn't sound like a lot. The racing is about tenths, and when you can just consistently be a little bit faster than a guy, you're going to track him down. We still got 50 laps to go. We're getting the cross flags right here. Brandon Elvis, your USA Firearms halfway leader. Mettler right there behind Coleman. He's tracking him down slowly. Zach Murphy gets around Caleb Thompson for the 6th spot. Back in the battle for the 3rd spot. It's starting to heat up right here. Mettler going to be putting the pressure on quick. As Brad Carpenter's around out of turns 1 and 2, and the caution flag flies. And we have our first caution flag of the evening. See what happened to the 31 machine right here. Ooh, looks like he might have gotten some help from Alex Hicks in the 88. We'll take another look at it from up above. Right here going into turns 1 and 2. Ooh. And just contact right there. He didn't hit anything, so he's going to be good to go. But pit stops are happening here. Brandon Elvis bringing the 54 machine down pit road. So right side's going up. Will anybody take 4 though? So 2 tires. Chris Smith, though, going to put on 4 in the 80. See if he's the only one. I think he might be. Was 4 tires the play. He's going to be in the 9th spot. He's going to have a long way to go. Elvis going to retain that lead in the 54. We're going to take a quick step away here on True Sim Productions. I'm your host, Winston Deal. We will be right back here at the Five Flag Speedway. All right, folks, back here at the Five Flag Speedway. The lights are off on the iRacing.com pace car. The field is making its way through turns 3 and 4 right here. It is going to be in the hands of Brandon Elvis. Pace car is off through turns 3 and 4, through the Coleman Design restart zone, and we are back racing here at Five Flags. Coleman going to get the advantage down the back straightaway. He uses the top side. He's going to take over the race lead here on lap number 61. Elvis going to have to fight for the 2nd spot now. Brandon Mettler trying to take that position away. He's got the bottom line. Justin Coleman, though, pulling ahead on the restart. Elvis might have spun the tires down low, but a huge run out of the 14. Ooh, Mettler gets loose in the 15. That's going to give the 2nd spot to Brandon Elvis. But Justin Coleman, the number 14 machine, takes over the race lead. We're past the halfway point in this one. We'll have to keep an eye on Chris Smith in the 80 machine and see where he stacks up. He had 4 tires on this previous pit stop. See if he can climb through the field with those extra left sides compared to the rest of the field. Coleman not having too much pressure from Brandon Elvis in the 54. See if he can keep that 14 out front. Back behind, Caleb Thompson makes a bold move to the inside underneath Dalton Creech. He's not going to be able to make it stick, though. Creech had trouble on corner entry. He's going to allow the 0-4 another chance. Loose off the corner. Here comes Chris Smith on those 4 fresh tires, trying to take a peek to the outside. Brandon Elvis right now running in the 2nd spot. He led the first half of this race. He came down pit road, got 2 tires, came to the green. Looked like he got a good start, but Coleman just with a power move around that outside lane kept the advantage down the back straightaway, and he is your race leader. But Elvis starting to reel him in a little bit. That gap starting to decrease in size. So we'll see what Brandon Elvis can do right here. He's got a good run. He's going to keep to the inside. Looks like Coleman going to shut the door. Brandon Mettler right there as well in the 15. We'll see if he's going to get involved with this battle for the race lead. Inside 30 laps to go. Elvis is loose down the front straightaway right there. Mettler's going to have an opportunity here in the 15. Good run from Mettler. Back out for now. Murphy trying to take over the 4th spot. He's got Dalton Creech to his inside. These two battle right here. Caleb Thompson sitting in the catbird seat, waiting for one of them to go. Field making their way through turns 3 and 4 right here. Murphy going to get the advantage. Is he going to be able to clear Creech in turns 1 and 2? Looks like he is. 25 laps to go. We got a 3-car breakaway for the lead here at Five Flags. And the caution flag is out. Dalton Creech in the 36 is around. Pit entry in turns 3 and 4. What happened to Dalton Creech? He was running in the 5th spot. So here's another view. Battling with Caleb Thompson in the 0-4. Oh, looks like in the corner, it looks like I think Caleb Thompson might have tried to get in line right there and just tag the back bumper of Creech. Maybe misjudged that gap. We'll look from up above. See right here, Creech going into the corner. Yeah, just kind of a disagreement on space. I think Thompson was trying to settle back in and just didn't anticipate Creech going into the corner at that angle. Under caution for the 2nd time. And Justin Coleman is your race leader in the 14. We'll see if Brandon Elvis can get him back on this restart. We know that's what Elvis wants to see. He won last week. He's going to try and go for 2 in a row. Making their way down the back straightaway. 22 laps to go right here. We'll see if the field gets the 1 to go signal this time by. Starts to double up that outside lane. Not gonna happen. We'll get a word from our 3rd place runner right now, Brandon Mettler. Brandon Mettler up in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you.
All right, you're running in the 3rd spot right now. You've tracked down your race leaders at the end of that initial green flag run, and you're able to get around, I think it was Dalton Creech in the 36. Looks like you've got speed in the 15. You're going to be kind of sitting right in the catbird seat behind Justin Coleman on this restart. What can you do to get around these front 2 guys with 20 laps to go?
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I think Elvis is really quick. I think he was the only car in that run that really wasn't chasing down truly. Just really trying to keep a really smooth wheel and really smooth pedals, and that was kind of it. We pit, and the back tires really balanced on the right side, and so we'll see here. Just keep it pointed straight, keep my nose in there and see what happens.
Alrighty, well, you're about to go back green flag racing. We wish you luck. Hope to see you later.
Appreciate you.
All right, that was Brandon Mettler. He's going to be starting in the 3rd spot. Coleman electing to take that outside lane through the Coleman Design restart zone we go, and he gets a huge jump. He's going to maintain the race lead. Meanwhile, for the 3rd spot, here comes Zach Murphy trying to make his way onto the podium. Brandon Mettler in the 15. Elvis didn't really get the best of jumps, so Mettler definitely did not. He's going to have to try and battle with Zach Murphy right now and get that third spot back. We're coming back to 17 laps to go into turns 1 and 2. Coleman, your race leader. You've got a bunch of cars in line behind him ready to track him down. Still on the back bumper of Zach Murphy. Looks like he got a little loose off that corner right there. 15 laps to go for Justin Coleman. He got the race lead after that first restart. And right now he's trying to hang on for 15 more circuits around the Five Flags Speedway to pick up his first victory of this season. Coleman coming into tonight was 5th in the point standings, 16 points back from Brandon Mettler. This would definitely do good for his hopes at a championship. But he's got to hold off his teammate who's putting together some fast laps. 54 of Elvis, starting to pick up the pace here a little bit. Last time around, Elvis the quickest car on the racetrack. Ooh, Scotty Stevens up into the top 4. He moves around Brandon Mettler. Up front, your race leader is going to see 10 laps to go. 10 to go for Justin Coleman here at the Five Flags Speedway. He's got Elvis trying to track him down. Zach Murphy in the 3rd spot. Does Brandon Elvis have it to track him down? We're going to find out. So we got Chris Smith in the 80 machine. He's got 4 tires trying to move his way back up into the top 5 late here. Smith up on the outside lane trying to keep Brandon Mettler pinned down. As we come back to 6 laps to go. Elvis right there on the back bumper. It's the battle right there closing in. Elvis is closing it down to about 1/10 of a second. They go through turns 3 and 4. We're inside of 5 laps to go. 4 at the stripe right here. What can Brandon Elvis do to get around his teammate? He won last week at the New Smyrna Speedway. He's going to try and sweep our visit down to the Sunshine State. We've got 3 to go right there. Elvis all over the back bumper of the 14. What can he do to get an opening to the inside? Popsicle sticks up in the air right here. 2 laps to go for Justin Coleman in the 14. He's going to have to hold off his teammate, Brandon Elvis. But can the 14 of Justin Coleman pick up his first victory of the season? Elvis gets loose back behind as that sealed the deal. The white flag is out. 1 more lap to go. Elvis is loose again. 0.6 of a second the difference. Now Justin Coleman, a lot of breathing room. Down the back straightaway he goes. through turns 3 and 4 for a final time here tonight. Justin Coleman gonna pick up the victory here tonight at the Five Flags Speedway. Brandon Elvis comes home second in the 54, and Zach Murphy in the 29 bringing it home third. So a good run for Murphy in the third spot. He was fourth in points, Coleman fifth in points, and Brandon Elvis third in points. So good run here tonight from these guys. Justin Coleman gonna burn it down here on the front straightaway. We're gonna take a quick step away here on True Sim Productions before we come back and wrap things up with a word from our top three. I'm your host, Winston Neal. We'll be right back. Alrighty, folks, here we are back on on True Sim Productions. I'm your host from the WD Broadcasting Network, Winston Deal. Gonna grab a word from our top three competitors, starting with Zach Murphy. Get him up in the booth. Zach Murphy, third place finisher. You got a copy?
I got you, bud.
Alrighty, well, third at Five Flags here tonight. You started in the ninth spot. Definitely had a journey up there, but a fun run for you here tonight nonetheless.
Yeah, like you said, a little bit of a journey. Didn't qualify well the one lap. I mean, I just haven't been qualifying well in general. But yeah, had to battle kind of that long run to halfway, around halfway. I felt like I had good long run speed. I wasn't really good on the short run, and yeah, I got into Scotty Stevens early. I got to apologize to that. I never really keyed up on that. I'm glad he came back and finished fourth, but I got to apologize to that. But yeah, definitely a journey, and glad to bring it home on the podium.
Yeah, definitely a good run for you here tonight. Came into tonight in the fourth spot in the standings. Had a second place run last week. Back-to-back weeks on the podium. Who do you got to thank? Help get you up there.
Yeah, definitely happy to land on the podium tonight. It's going to be a good battle with the Coleman, Elvis Racing guys. Those guys are always fast. But got to thank the guys on the Race From 3, Caleb and Brad. Always good to chat with them during the race. Got to thank Coleman Designs, Justin over at Coleman Designs, keeping this thing fresh. I'll thank you, Winston, up in the booth, and all the guys over at All Star that put this league on. It's really fun to come out and racing.
Alrighty, well, congratulations to you on a third place run here tonight. Next week, though, we head to the South Boston Speedway. A little bit tighter here than Five Flags. How can you get the 29 up into the podium again?
Yeah, actually, South Boston's one of my favorites. I love short track racing. It's what I grew up watching and going to as a kid, and you know, I always liked South Boston. So yeah, hopefully we can just qualify well and keep the nose clean and keep it up front all night. And that would be a key to. I mean, that's what Justin and Brandon been doing. You qualify up front, you can keep your nose clean. Goes a long ways. So hopefully we can qualify a little better than ninth and be talking to you again at the end of the race next week.
Alrighty, well, sounds like you've got a good plan heading in there next week, but nonetheless, congrats on your third place run here tonight.
Thanks, Winston. We'll catch you.
Yes, sir. Alrighty, next up, our second place finisher, winner last week, second this week. Brandon Elvis, you got a copy.
Hey, Winston.
Alrighty, well, not the win that you probably wanted here tonight, but still a really good night. Second place. Gonna probably jump up a couple spots, maybe even take that points lead, but another good run. Brandon, what have you got to say?
Yeah, man, I kind of gave it away on that restart there. I chose the bottom. I should have known better. I knew after I did it, I'm like, oh yeah, we spin tires pretty bad on the bottom here at Five Flags with the super late model. So I spun the tires. Coleman got the lead, and man, I could get to him there. I don't think that I don't know what I would have done if I got underneath him or anything, because it was just so I was getting kind of tight in and super free off. The car would just unload off the corner, and you really had to feather the throttle. It took the whole racetrack, so thought maybe I could try to get him on the outside in 3 and 4 one time, but just didn't pan out. Got the right rear too hot.
Yeah, it definitely looked slick there tonight, especially on the exit of 2. We saw a couple guys chasing it almost to the grass on the inside wall. So still a good thing you held onto the car and kept it into the second place spot. You got really loose out of 3 and 4 that last, what was it, coming to the white? I was like, ooh, you better not, yeah, you better not lose it. But held on to it, came home in the second spot. Is there anybody that you have to thank that helped get you on the podium again?
Yeah, first shout out Justin Coleman for getting the win tonight. It's a pretty big win for him, so congrats to him. He's been wanting one of these supers for a while, and luck went his way tonight, and he drove a good race. Yeah, him for the Coleman design for the paints. My mom and dad, my wife, for she always lets me do this 3 nights a week, so we're always grateful for that. Barry Performance and Fab, Chestnut Hill Restaurant, Shock Eye Racing Performance, Coastal Performance, my teammates, Elvis Coleman Racing, Justin, Chris, and Dalton. Yeah, just everybody else helps me. Thanks for you putting this broadcast on.
Alrighty, well, congratulations to you on a second place run here tonight. South Boston next week. What have you got going in there?
Hey man, it's got to start up front and stay up front, right?
Yeah, that's definitely the key. Track position, and don't look back. If you qualify on the pole, definitely don't pick the wrong lane on the restart next week.
Yeah, I gotta get back to work on that a little bit and kind of figure out what's going to work and what isn't. But we'll be ready.
Alrighty, well, congrats to you tonight on a second place run.
Thank you.
Alrighty, folks, that was Brandon Elvis, and now to talk to our race winner, Justin Coleman, up in the booth. You got a copy.
What's going on, Winston?
What a race by you there. You really did zoom around the outside of Brandon Elvis on that restart. Kind of caught me off guard. I expected Elvis is pretty good in the restarts, and he's gotten a lot of practice recently, and I expected him to get a pretty good jump, but you caught me completely off guard and drove around his outside in 1 and 2 and then didn't really look back. How do you feel?
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel great, man. I've been struggling in these supers for a long time, so to finally get a win, man, it feels good. Feels great.
Yeah, definitely getting the monkey off your back here tonight at the Five Flags Speedway. I talked to you last week, either in the late model stocks or the supers, one of the two. You said you had this one circled on your calendar, and we come here tonight in the supers. You pick up the victory. Tomorrow we go there in the stocks. Think you can do it 2 in a row?
We're darn sure gonna try, man. I love this track. Outside of Nashville Fairgrounds, it's one of my favorite tracks. We're going to shoot for back-to-back, but can't win them all. We're dang sure going to try.
All right, definitely would be fun to see you win both here at the Five Flags Speedway, but we got to see you win one here in the super late model tonight. Who do you have to thank that helped get you into victory lane?
Man, just thank you again for all your broadcasting. You do a great job. Thank my team, Elvis Coleman Racing, and big shout out to Brandon, man. That was fun. He had me on my toes those last 20 or 30 laps. He had me on my toes, but it was fun racing with him. Thank all my sponsors, Barry Elvis Performance and Fabrication, Chestnut Hill the restaurant, Parker Brothers Window Tinting, Gibbs Brothers Construction, BH Homes Construction, Coleman Designs, Coastal Performance, Shockeye Racing Performance, and just another shout out to All Star Racing League and Brandon and Dalton. Man, they put on an amazing league. It's always fun and competitive.
Yeah, it's definitely always a fun show here in the All-Star Racing League. But nonetheless, congrats to you, Justin, on your victory here tonight, and we wish you luck going forward.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. All right, folks, that was your race winner here tonight, Justin Coleman, driver of the number 14 machine. An exciting race we had at the Five Flags Speedway. Coleman got around Elvis on that restart. And although Elvis pressured him quite a bit, Coleman was able to pick up the victory. A fun one here tonight. Next week, we go to the South Boston Speedway. A little short oval. Make things a little fun, as you guys can see right there. But other than that, I think that's going to wrap things up for us here tonight on True Sim Productions. We will see you guys back next time for race number 4 of the Barry Elvis Performance and Fabrication Super Series. I'm your host, Winston Deal. Gonna sign it off. We'll see you guys back tomorrow night for the Chestnut Hill Late Model Stock Series. Peace.